from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital. This is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Anne Nwawodo.
And welcome. Tonight, an uncertain criminal intent impeded as the Nigeria Customs Service intercept 9 containers conveying arms, ammunition, illicit drugs, and second-hand clothes worth 13.9 billion naira. Vice President Kashim Shettima visit victims of Gwoza multiple bombings, puts death toll at 32. Nigeria's number 2 citizen says 14 people have been discharged, with 26 still receiving treatment. Road carnage at the Dangwaro flyover along the popular Kano Zaria Road claims 25 lives, leaves 53 others injured. And the U.S. Supreme Court rules that Donald Trump can claim immunity from criminal prosecution for some actions he took in the waning days of his presidency.
On business news tonight, Nigeria's central bank seeks proper regulation of the fintech ecosystem among member countries in the West African Monetary Zone.
On sports news tonight, France leave it late as they labored to a 1-0 victory against Belgium to book their place in the quarterfinals of Euro 2024.
From Abuja, the nation's capital, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, inducts new resident electoral commissioners.
And in international news from London, France's far right is in pole position after the first round of parliamentary elections that confirmed their dominance in French politics.
We begin with the latest developments at the Nigeria Customs Service, with a shipment of assorted arms and ammunition originating from Turkey and estimated to be worth about 4 billion naira has been intercepted by the service. Speaking to journalists at the Onne port in Rivers State, the Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adeniyi, revealed that the 40-foot container with registration number MAEU 165396 originated in Turkey, and that the service had it under surveillance all the way till it berthed at Onne port.
The Nigeria Customs Service Area 2 Command Onne River State is in a celebratory mood as one gets the sense of something major about to be revealed. In attendance are members of sister security agencies, journalists, and other stakeholders who are here to see for themselves the weapons and other contraband intercepted by the service. But before then, the Controller General of the service arrives and inspects the quarter guard. Next, he proceeds to address the gathering as he provides an update on the seizure.
The suspicious container was subjected to thorough physical examination. The result reveals the following alarming contents. Number 1, we had inside the container 844 units of assorted rifles, 10 units of Venom Caron gun makers, Georgia Magnum silver pump action rifles, Sterling high quality live ammunition in 34-gram category, 34 to 35 plastic shotgun shells, 70 mm.
He then conducts pressmen around the weapons and containers impounded by the service before formally handing the weapons over to the National Coordinator for the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, who says this is a significant milestone in Nigeria's security history.
We have all gathered here today to witness the taking over by the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, substantial catching of arms and ammunition intercepted by the vigilant and diligent officers of the Nigerian Customs Service at Onne Seaport. This operation exemplifies the kind of interagency collaboration that is essential for tackling the menace of illicit arms proliferation.
The interception.
The representative of the National Security Advisor calls on security agencies to work together in order to combat proliferation of light arms, even as CG reveals that investigations into the circumstances surrounding the weapons is revealed.
Research and experience has shown that there is a nexus between drug trafficking, smuggling of small arms, money laundering, and human trafficking. This has necessitated the need for synergy between all security agencies to combat these menaces.
We know the vessel that brought it. We know the container number. We know the country of origin. So we know the importer in our system. We know the agents in our system. So these are very, invaluable resource that we can start and kickstart our investigation from.
8 others seized containers containing codeine-infused cough syrup, medication, and other contraband goods were also displayed, while their contents were handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
To security matters now, Vice President Kashim Shettima has visited victims of Saturday's suicide bombings in Gwoza, Borno State. The Vice President was accompanied by the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Umar Kadafor, Senator Aline Dume, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, former Nigerian ambassador to China, Baba Ahmed Jida, and other government functionaries. During that visit, Mr. Shettima disclosed that the death toll from the bomb attack has risen to 32. He also says that 42 persons were brought to the specialist hospital, while 14 of them have been discharged after receiving treatment. The S-26 are still being attended to. The Vice President made personal donations to the surviving victims, while he condoled with the families of the dead victims, extending the condolences of President Bola Tinubu, especially to Gwoza people and the people of Borno State in general. After his visit, the Vice President departed for the Federal Capital Territory through the Maiduguri International Airport.
A delegate said one life lost in cold blood is as gruesome as millions lost in a pogrom. Our hearts goes out to the victims. So far, we have recorded 32 deaths. 42 were brought in from Gwoza. About 14 have been discharged. About 26 are currently receiving attention. And I want to use this forum to most sincerely register our profound gratitude to the Borno State government, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the State Emergency Management Agency and ICRC for rising up to the challenges of the times and giving their best in terms of support. The hearts of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is with the victims, and he specifically instructed us to come and offer our condolences and commiserations to the victims of this incident. We are here with the Director General of NEMA, with the Minister of Agriculture, with the Minister of Transportation, and of course, the Chief Whip of the Senate is a son of the soil from Gwoza, so he was here since yesterday. And the acting governor has been working around the clock to provide succor and support to the victims.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has deployed additional personnel and resources to Borno State to improve security there and prevent further attacks. The police boss says the NPF Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit, in collaboration with the Nigerian Army EOD unit, is actively engaging in clearance operations to ensure no further threats infiltrate any part of Borno State or neighboring states. A statement issued by the Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Dejobi says that Nigeria Police Force will continue to work with the military and other security agencies, as well as stakeholders, to bring down all forms of criminal and violent attacks in the country. Meanwhile, the Northern Senators Forum has condemned what it describes as horrific and devastating, the violence attack on Gwoza community in Borno State, which resulted in the loss of lives on June the 29th, 2024. The forum equally saluted the unwavering courage and dedication of the medical team, the rescue workers, and the Nigerian army, who all responded with selflessness in the face of adversity. The chairman of the Northern Senators Forum, Senator Abdulaziz Musa Yaradua, in a statement today, vowed that the forum will seek justice and hold accountable those responsible for the act. Pledging to work tirelessly to reinforce security measures and ensure swift response to threats, the forum also declared that with their renewed promise, forces of darkness will henceforth find no haven in the land. And there is need to ensure proper governance in areas where Nigerian military has decimated terrorists in the northeastern part of the country. That's the suggestion of the retired army officer, Major General Cecile Esakaibe, who was a guest on Channels Television's breakfast show, The Morning Brief. The retired army officer also believes that there should be a blend of military and non-military approaches in stemming the recent bomb attacks in Gwoza local government area of Borno State.
Relying on military solution alone will not take us to our desired end. You see, they must have what they call a blend of the kinetic and non-kinetic approaches. And that's what they call it, the U.S. government smart power. Now that the military has been able to achieve the very, very outstanding results in this counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism, there must be this element of, the governor, there must be proper governance in all these areas that have been liberated. If you leave them open the way they are, there's a need, for regrouping by the insurgents and the terrorists. Another thing you must also have to look at is, for instance, if people are hungry, if people are disillusioned, they become, easy prey for recruitment. Especially now that you have this electronic recruitment of terrorists and suicide bombers. So you have to blend the military approach to new non-military approach, which encompasses military, economic, social, and other factors you must consider. Intelligence now must be driven by technology. Any intelligence that you want to gather without appropriate technology will not give you the result you get in modern challenges.
And still on security matters, troops of the Multinational Joint Task Force says that it has killed 70 terrorists and destroyed 5 camps situated on islets across the Cameroonian and Nigerian borders in the Lake Chad Basin. And NJTF says the operation is a significant achievement of Operation Lake Sanity 2 in combating terrorism within the Lake Chad Basin. And a statement issued by the spokesman of the JTF, Colonel Abubakar, explains that the operation also resulted in the destruction of 8 vehicle-borne improvised explosive devices in Arena Chike and 2 ammunition bunkers northeast of Malam Fatori. The MNJTF also extends its appreciation to the Chadian armed forces for their cooperation and their support in the fight against terrorism. Away from security matters, it's a Black Monday for the people of Kano and Kaduna State in northwestern Nigeria as the road crash at the Dangwaru flyover along the popular Kano-Zaria road claimed the lives of 25 people, leaving 53 others injured. Confirming this incident, the Federal Road Safety Corps Kano Sector Command Ibrahim Abdullahi says that around 3:30 a.m., the trailer carrying 90 individuals reportedly lost control due to overspeeding. Rescue operations were promptly initiated by the FRSC in collaboration with the police and other emergency response agencies, and all the victims of the crash were transported to the Murtala Specialist Hospital Kano for medical attention. According to him, 12 persons were rescued unhurt, and items recovered from the scene included motorcycles, mobile phones, rams, goats, and other items, which are all in police custody. The FRSC commander cautioned against reckless driving and asked all road users to adhere strictly to the traffic laws and regulations to prevent further tragedies. In part two, after the break, the Coordinating Minister of Health, Mohammed Ali Pate, attributes the rising number of fatalities from the cholera outbreak to late presentation for treatment. Please join us again.
Yes, you can. And you can do it now with Taj Bank. Open an account with as little as 500 Naira and earn profits with the Mudaraba Savings Account with Taj Bank. Enjoy zero account maintenance, withdraw as many times as possible and still get profits. Offer is open to both new and existing customers. Open an account by downloading the Tajway app on Play Store, the Apple Store, or walk into any Taj Bank branch closest to you. Taj Bank, our only interest is you.
It's hot. Have you seen the remote?
No, I haven't seen it.
How did you do that?
We all want the good life. To do the things that give us the most joy. To reach for the things we want and get them. To move our feet and go where our hearts take us. To become who we've always thought we were. To break free from the ordinary and live life to the fullest.
The good life is not a destination, it's a journey. Verve, Africa's premier payment card, is the passport that keeps you moving from good life to good life. Ask your bank for a Verve card today.
New Rexona Advanced Protection Roll-On. For all-day, non-stop protection from sweat and odor. Keeps on working all day. Stay dry and fresh for longer. Try Rexona. It won't let you down.
Fidelity Bank is pleased to introduce its public offer and rights issue. For just 9 Naira 75 kobo, you can subscribe for a share in Fidelity Bank, and shareholders can exercise their rights with just 9 Naira 25 kobo per share in the rights issue. Time is ticking, so join us at Fidelity Bank. To subscribe, visit any registered stockbroker or any of the issuing houses to the offer or any Fidelity Bank branch. Offer lasts till July 29th, 2024. For guidance, please read the prospectus or rights circular or consult your stockbroker, fund or portfolio manager, banker, solicitor, or other professional advisors.
We are Fidelity. We keep our word. We don't like to eat better. More nutritious meals, more veggies. But we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes. That's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic. And enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, coming to you live on Channels Television from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. An uncertain criminal intent impeded as the Nigeria Customs Service intercepts 9 containers conveying arms, ammunition, illicit drugs, and second-hand clothes worth 13.9 billion naira. Vice President Kashim Shettima visits victims of Gwoza multiple bombings puts death toll at 32. Nigeria's number 2 citizen says 14 people have been discharged, but 26 others still receiving treatment. Road carnage at the Dangwaro flyover along the popular Kano Zaria road claims 25 lives, leaves 53 others injured. And U.S. Supreme Court rules that Donald Trump can claim immunity from criminal prosecution for some actions he took in the waning days of his presidency. The Nigerian Air Force has refuted reports making the rounds that an Air Force helicopter carrying out anti-terrorism operation crashed in Tami village in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. The Air Force Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gapquet, told Channels Television that the crash involved an unmanned aerial vehicle on a routine exercise in the early hours of today. Air Marshal Gapquet also appealed to citizens to always verify stories of happenings.
It was just an early morning opportunity, patrol to see if we could get a hold of some of these criminals that have continued to make life unbearable for our people. And when this sad incident happened, it's sad on one hand, but at the same time, it doesn't change anything for us because our operations will continue. As a matter of fact, it wasn't just a single UAV that took off from base at that point. So the rest continued their operations, and they went on to do the needful. It was just this one single UAV that had this mishap. So we are trying to make sure that we get to the bottom of it. We're working with equipment manufacturers too to see how we can really understand what happened, and then we move on. Period. That was just it. The notion that we will continue to be having air operations and not experience a mishap should be dispelled, because once you are very active, and I keep on saying that once you have an active Air Force like Nigerian Air Force, you will spend more time in the air because you have the platforms. And because you spend so much time flying, there are going to be likelihoods of mishaps. What we continually pray for is that when we have these kind of accidents, let no lives be lost. We don't want to lose ours. We don't want to lose innocent civilians on ground.
The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, has attributed the rising number of deaths from the recent cholera outbreak to late presentation of cases to hospitals for proper case management. The minister, who gave this advice at the Gwoza Teaching Hospital in Abuja, also advised citizens to take routine hygiene practices such as regular hand washing and sanitation very seriously to stop the spread and reduce the number of infections and deaths.
The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare is leading some directors in the ministry on an inspection tour of some recently completed facilities in the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital in Gwoza. Before the commencement of the tour, the hospital management briefs the minister on the state of infrastructure with an appeal for intervention.
With the help of the ministry and appropriation, we have very strong equipment base. Basic for a tertiary institution. If you ask, is there anyone that we lack? And it is one, which is the MRI machine. And I'm sure you have a list of what you do for us. Number one, the MRI scan machine. Number two, the MRI machine. And number three, with what? MRI machine.
It's then time for the tour of some of the recently built infrastructure, including the Cardiovascular Research Center and the Mental Health Building, which the minister commissions.
The glory of God and to the benefit of mankind.
The minister reiterates the federal government's determination to improve on infrastructure in tertiary hospitals across the country.
So the federal government, as you know, has had a deliberate policy to expand the physical infrastructure, medical equipment at the teaching hospital level, but we're also working with the states to expand primary health care so that all over Nigeria, 36 states and the FCT will expand the functionality of primary health care centers.
The health minister also speaks on the rising cases of cholera and the resultant fatalities in the country.
So far, I think we're doing well. In some areas, the case fatality rate is higher than we would like to see because of delayed presentation for treatment and the quality of the treatment centers in many of the states. But I think that we're dealing with through the Emergency Operations Center at the LCDC.
Nigeria has recorded over 140,000 cases of cholera, and there are no fewer than 4,364 deaths from 31 states since the outbreak of the disease in June.
Next, we turn our attention to infrastructure in the nation's capital, Abuja, and we head over there now where Malkwe Yusuf is standing by to give us more. Hello, Malkwe.
Hello, and it's certainly good to see you. And indeed, we're starting off with some infrastructural development. As the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wike, says President Bola Tinubu's administration is focused on the empowerment of Nigerians. The minister made the statement during the flag-off of the Mabushi bus terminal in the nation's capital. He believes that the master plan of the FCT has been distorted, making it difficult to carry out projects. Our correspondent Kumbi Abuluwade reports.
The establishment of the bus terminals in the Federal Capital Territory necessitated this gathering, which had in attendance the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the FCT Minister and the Minister of State for FCT, federal lawmakers, government officials, and top management staff of the FCT administration. They are here to flag off the construction of the Mabuchi bus terminal. The facility is expected to facilitate movement of persons and goods and also reduce the cost of public transportation in the nation's capital.
By centralizing vehicular services, bus terminals help to reduce the number of buses on the streets at any given time, contributing to smoother traffic flow and less congestion.
Let us look forward with optimism as we embark on this journey towards a more connected and efficient Abuja. It's my candid hope that we will build not just terminals, but pathways to progress and prosperity by God's grace.
The FCT minister considers the project as part of the democratic dividends of the present administration to Nigerians, as he explains that the federal government is focused on empowering Nigerians.
A city like Abuja does not have bus and taxi terminals. You see people on the road, taxis all over the place, and that, of course, is part of our insecurity problems. One of the things we do understand about the New Hope agenda is not just about human capital development, it also has to do with the empowerment of our people.
The special guest of honor is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and he speaks on the commitment of the National Assembly to the development in the FCT.
This project will not only improve accessibility, but also contribute significantly to the overall economic vitality of Abuja. The National Assembly, as the legislature of the FCT, stands ready to support the minister by enacting favorable legislation.
After his speech, the Speaker is accompanied by other dignitaries to flag off the project. Kumbi Abuluwade, Channels Television News.
Staying in Abuja, the Chairman Board of Directors of Pacesetters Academy, Mr. Kenneth Imaswagbon, is urging students of the institution to be trailblazers in their fields of endeavor, as doing so will help turn around the fortunes of the country. Mr. Imaswagbon, who spoke at the graduation and prize-giving ceremony of Pacesetters Academy, Wuye, told the graduating students that the nation awaits their contribution to national development in the next few years.
Class of 2024,
You are the hope of Nigeria. Class of 2024, I say you are the hope of Nigeria. By extension, you are the hope of the world. Go conquer the world. Go rule the world. Go be pacesetters of the world. Go be leaders of the world. Go be servants of the world. Make Nigeria a better place. Make Nigeria the country you want to see it become. Where we have failed, turn it around. Make it for the country. Look, class of 2024, when Nigeria is great, you are the one that is great. When Nigeria is good in your time, you are the one that is good. You must change the country. You must tell a good story at the end of your life. That we came to the country called Nigeria, we made it, and we saw, we conquered.
Meanwhile, His Eminence, the Metropolitan Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja, John Cardinal Onayekon, who also spoke with reporters, criticized the nation's education system, particularly at the basic level, emphasizing the need for a complete overhaul of the system. He urged leaders to use the oppositions as opportunities to change the narrative.
I think we can do better than we are doing now. All those who are ruling us, their children are in schools where they perform well. Why are they not thinking of the children of those who voted for them? It is not right. We voted for you so that you can take care of our needs. When members of the House are having their children either in pace setters or in a beautiful school abroad, and they go home to their village and they find that the children are studying under trees, it should bother them. It should bother them. If they don't shape up, it means that those who are in the parliament, who are in the National Assembly, supposed to represent us and our interests, are not doing it.
In electoral matters, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmood Yakubu, says the commission is committed to upholding the ideals of credible election in Nigeria. The chairman of the electoral umpire gave this assurance at the induction of 10 new resident electoral commissioners in Lagos today. Professor Mahmood also urged the newly inducted resident electoral commissioners to commit themselves to quality service delivery to the people. Our correspondent Daridu reports.
Old and new resident electoral commissioners, the leadership of the electoral umpire, and partners are seated in this auditorium to brainstorm, induct, and share notes with the new regs.
For the honorable resident electoral commissioners,
the new inductees are overseeing electoral administration in Akwa Ibom, Edo, Ekiti, Gombe, Kwara, Niger, Rivers, Zamfara, Lagos, and Nasarawa states.
I therefore urge all of us to take this retreat seriously, so that at the end of it, we will be able to deliver a transparent, credible, and acceptable electoral process devoid of bias and partisanship.
You have to do a lot of tasks concurrently. You have to be very detail-oriented, and you will have to do everything under an enormous pressure which comes from left, right, and centre.
Professor Mahmood Yakubu makes it clear that he is committed to transparency in the electoral process.
I must add that in making your contributions, let us maintain the spirit of retreat and not that of a seminar or workshop. This is also not a review meeting. We are done with these engagements, both for the general election and for the review, and the reports for the general election and the review will soon be made public.
The INEC chair adds that 2 out of the 10 new regs who will be overseeing the off-cycle election in Edo and Ondo states have been properly inducted and not entirely new to election administration.
It is not just about the forthcoming governorship elections, but some of these regs, a few weeks after they were sworn in, conducted court-ordered rerun elections and by-elections arising from the resignation or death of honorable members of the National and State Assemblies. So they have also been inducted in terms of conduct of elections, practically speaking.
President Bola Tinubu had approved the appointment of the resident electoral commissioners for a 5-year tenure each, urging them to abide by the high standards of professional and ethical conduct in the discharge of their duties. Dari Idu, Channels Television News.
And that's all from our Abuja studios. It's back now to you, Anne.
Thank you, Maokwe. Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's central bank seeks proper regulation of the fintech ecosystem among member countries in the West African Monetary Zone. Please stay with us.
Here's a card when no go give you stress at all. Zero wait and zero queue. First bank is Petra card. Here's a card when no go give you wahala. Zero trouble now for you. First bank is Petra card. Tell off the spoiler. Who won't break them? Where you want to say now only you get them. Nothing fit do one. Sharp, sharp, payment. They go, you know the way. Virtual card with the sweet body. Virtual card with no the shape person. We put you first again. First banking virtual card, we put you first again. Generate your virtual card, we put you first again. First banking virtual card, we put you first again. Just generate your virtual card.
Don't do that. Sweetheart, no matter what you do, we show you love. So you can show more love to everyone.
Mom, how do you show more love to everyone? I will show you love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
The Duchess International Hospital caters to every aspect of a family's health needs. A one-stop shop for maternity and child health services, emergency medicine and critical care, medical and surgical subspecialties, dental and eye care, and a range of other subspecialties and services, all available at a single location right here in the heart of Ikeja. And it really doesn't matter if you're paying out of pocket using your HMO or private insurance. We focus completely on providing that world-class affordable healthcare for all the family at all times.
Yes, you can, and you can do it now with Taj Bank. Open an account with as little as 500 Naira and earn profits with the Mudaraba Savings Account with Taj Bank. Enjoy zero account maintenance, withdraw as many times as possible, and still get profit. Offer is open to both new and existing customers. Open an account by downloading the Tajway app on Play Store, the Apple Store, or walk into any Taj Bank branch closest to you. Taj Bank, our only interest is you.
Welcome back. The Group Chief Executive Officer of Nest Oil Limited, Mr. Ernest Obejese, has called on stakeholders and regulators in the oil and gas sector in the country to massively invest in capacity building, not only to enhance the sector, but to bridge the gap of brain drain. Mr. Obejese was speaking as a panelist at the session during the Nigeria Oil and Gas Energy Week in Abuja.
Experts in the oil and gas industry, as well as regulators and players in the industry, are taking part in the 2024 Nigeria Oil and Gas Energy Week. This panel discussion, featuring the Group Chief Executive Officer of Nest Oil Limited, a major player in the energy sector, Mr. Ernest Obiajesi, is looking at the exploration of local capacity and maximizing regional opportunities.
A lot of people.
Mr. Obiajesi canvasses for more capacity to be built in the sector.
What is more important is that we will continue to sustain the growth of those capacities within and not allowing it to die or allowing it to degenerate based on the fact that today a lot of the companies are almost not being able to execute or do the projects they want to do simply because the bidding process sometimes or the issue of this lowest bidder tends to affect bidding prices for jobs and allowing these companies to be able to do projects. For me, there's quite a lot we are supposed to do in country also to make sure that we strengthen ourselves and make sure that as we are moving to all those countries that require these technologies, this capacity we have, that there are no challenges. And that's all, including all these trade barriers like customs, like tariffs and whatever. Those things have to be liberalized and made free for us to be able to transfer the capacity we are built in country to other countries within the region.
After the panel session, he shared his motivation for being a part of the forum this year.
The achievement for us here is to be able to showcase that, look, we have come of age, we have a lot of experience behind us, and we want to encourage other Nigerians who are either starting or struggling now to be able to know that there is quite a lot of future, and that when we develop these capacities in country, we can actually take them regionally, taking them to other countries, and that's the whole idea. So growing the capacity, supporting the people, other companies, as a company that has gone from services to EMP. So we have seen it all. We have gone from just a mere service company in 1991 to an oil production company today.
Done with the formalities, Nest Oil also sponsored the first working launch of this year's forum. Over the next 4 days, oil and gas industry experts are expected to discuss trends, challenges, and developments in the sector.
LG Electronics has opened a new B2B Academy in Lagos to help its business partners and other industry trade professionals learn about the latest technologies available. The management says the B2B Academy, which is the second launched so far, will help sharpen installation and maintenance skills and ultimately deliver better products to customers.
It's the opening of a new business Academy located at the ICO building on Victoria Island, Lagos.
And we also have the purification kits.
On display are a wide range of high-quality air conditioning, heating, ventilation, refrigeration systems, as well as information display products for residential, commercial, office, and hotel purposes. According to the management of LG Electronics, the B2B Academy will provide practical solutions and trainings and also marks the beginning of a new business solution.
So here we invite all the stakeholders, like from the developers, they can come and they can see the type of indoor units or the product that they need. Consultant who can design it well. The training will be done on the designs as well. And the contractors, the main thing. Right? So the contractors should understand the product in order to install it. If the installation is bad, your product will not perform.
The idea is a welcome development as echoed by one of LG's major partners, Fuwani.
Just really very much excited and thrilled that there will really be an outcome of this training. It's not just a training center, it's a place where we share experience and we learn for everything that has to do with the industry, in the cooling industry. And we hope that this will be for a better, more sustainable and cooler future.
LG Electronics looks forward to the impact on the brand as well as on the industry through capacity building.
Currently, LG in Nigeria, we are very good success for the B2C business in terms of the refrigerator, TV, washing machine. But the commercial air conditioning and even the ID and the B2B products, we are aiming to almost triple times growth since last year and this year and the next 3 years.
We will have a proper curriculum from the basics to the advanced training curriculums. So basics is for the learners, the beginners, right? So beginners will have their own training sessions from to understand how the compressor works, what is the fan, how does it operate. And for the advanced, it would be like doing the brazing, what is the vacuuming, and all the deep, in-depth knowledge of the air conditioning system.
Having opened its first commercial air conditioning academy at the University of Lagos in 2012, LG Electronics appears to demonstrate once again its mastery of the Nigerian business environment.
Power Oil is demonstrating its commitment to healthy heart for all Nigerians with a new partnership with Kano Heart Foundation. At a press briefing held in Lagos, the Group Communications and Event Head, Cholera Group, Temitope Ashiwaju, announced that a token from every bottle of Power Oil sold will be used in supporting the Kano Heart Foundation.
Nigeria's ex-international and Olympic gold medalist Kano Nwankwo pays a visit to the headquarters of Toleram Group in Surulere, Lagos. It's a heartfelt visit as Power Oil expresses interest in what Kano Heart Foundation has been doing for over 2 decades.
I remember when I was done, every hope was lost, but thank God today that I bounced back and I'm giving back to the society. We have done almost 667 open heart operations. And partnering with Power Oil is going to help us to do more, to save more lives. And eventually our goals and our dream is to build hospital in Nigeria. And as you know, the foundation established in the year 2000, and we have almost like 200 on the waiting list.
Power Oil, one of Nigeria's foremost cooking oil brand, has over the years prided itself as a symbol of healthy cooking, and therefore sees this union as a no-brainer.
We have said to ourselves that a token of amounts from every Power Oil bottle will be used in supporting the Kano Heart Foundation in ensuring that people with heart condition are well taken care of. And we stand by our words. Of course, we also encourage that people will continue to have healthy living through using Power Oil, which is our product, which is well known.
However, to avoid the many troubles of the heart, the brand's message is reiterated.
We encourage Nigerians, watch the kind of oil that you use for cooking. Nigerian Heart Foundation has endorsed Power Oil. It's there on the banner, you can see. As good for health. Watch the kind of salt intake you take. Don't take too much salt.
It's a done deal, and the possibilities this will present appears exciting.
When you help them, you can see joy, happiness, and why not? That's the only achievement that you can achieve that is better than winning trophy.
When we say we're supporting Kano Heart Foundation, it means that we're also trying to reach to thousands or hundreds of Nigerians who are down with these heart issues and will be willing to support them at no extra cost.
Power Oil and Kano Heart Foundation believe this is a union made to last, and that with the patronage of every Nigerian, they can together save one more heart.
Let's delve into the world of business now. More stories coming from Dominic Iwiwu.
Banking, so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, and welcome to Business News. The Acting Director of Other Financial Institutions Department at the Central Bank, Mr. Arogudede Abayomi, is seeking cooperation of member countries in the West African Monetary Zone in ensuring better regulation of the fintech ecosystem. The domestic bourse commenced the new month, third quarter and second half of the year on a negative note as profit taken on 27 equities pulled the market's total value back more than 20 billion naira. Larry Williams tells us more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Well, the first trading day of July, the first for the second half of 2024, and the third quarter kicks off in red, down 0.04%, but still maintaining that 100,000 level by about 20 points extra. Market cap 56 trillion. Let's look at the top gainers. We see insurance topping the counter with linkage insurance up by 10%, 1 naira 10 kobo, and Africa Prudential also on that list, also an insurance business, 9.76% up, closing at 9 naira. So the first half of 2024 ended with an over 33% gain. Question is, what does the second half of 2024 have in store? Well, I guess we'll find out, but today it's bearish flat.
Now here are some of the closing numbers of major world stock markets for Monday.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Dominic. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that former presidents are entitled to absolute immunity from prosecution for official acts taken while in office, but have no immunity for unofficial acts. Here's Simon Pizzi with more international news and around the world in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. France's far right is in pole position after the first round of parliamentary elections that confirmed their dominance in French politics and brought them to the gates of power. Supporters of Marine Le Pen's anti-immigration national rally cheered as she said the president's Macronist bloc had been all but wiped out. RN won 33.1% of the vote, with a left-wing alliance behind it on 28%, and the Macron camp behind that on 20.76%. I aim to be Prime Minister for all the French people if the French give us their votes, said 28-year-old RN party leader Jordan Bardella. Never before has the far right won the first round of a French parliamentary election.
Ce soir. Tonight, I call on every French person attached to their freedom to the remedying of France to join me and amplify the dynamic and make the national union win against those who want to divide us, damage the public order, and flout our values.
Democratic President Joe Biden's family has urged him to ignore calls to step aside following his disastrous debate against Republican Donald Trump. He spent Sunday with relatives at a presidential retreat where they encouraged him to keep fighting. Anxiety has gripped sections of the party following a rambling and at times incoherent performance in Atlanta. Polls since then suggest concerns about his age of 81 have increased. Airports and businesses have shut down and residents across the Caribbean have been urged to seek shelter as a potentially devastating storm hits the region. Hurricane Beryl, currently a few hours from landfall in Barbados, has sparked warnings of life-threatening winds and dangerous storm surges. A hurricane warning is in effect in Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Tobago. Dozens of flights have been cancelled across the region as Beryl approached on Sunday night, while leaders urged the public to heed warnings.
When you get to Category 4 strength, you can see things like total roof damage, roofs lifted off of homes, exterior wall collapse, trees uprooted, significant damage and complete destruction of power lines and other infrastructure.
Kenya's President William Ruto says the country will have to borrow more to keep the government running following the rejection of a hugely unpopular finance bill that was going to raise more money in taxes.
I will not sign the 2024 finance bill.
The president said he would withdraw the bill containing controversial tax hikes after deadly protests which saw Parliament set on fire. But he said dropping the bill had set the country back 2 years as he explained the difficulty of being unable to raise extra taxes while facing a huge debt burden. He said this meant Kenya would have to borrow 1 trillion shillings or $7.6 billion just to be able to run the government. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has unveiled a new coalition government after his ruling African National Congress Party lost its parliamentary majority in May's elections. The ANC will have 20 out of 32 cabinet posts, while the pro-market Democratic Alliance, until now the main opposition party, will hold 6. 6 other portfolios are shared amongst smaller parties.
The partnership between the GNU parties is guided by a statement of intent which outlines fundamental principles and a minimum program of priorities. All the parties have made a commitment in writing to respect the Constitution and to promote accountable and transparent governance, evidence-based policies, and decision-making.
And a space rocket owned by a private Chinese company has accidentally launched itself during a test before crash landing into a hillside. Footage on social media shows the Tianlong 3 rocket falling back to Earth and exploding on the hill in central China's Henan province. The company responsible for the rocket, Tianbing Technology, said in a statement that there was a structural failure at the connection between the rocket body and the test bench, causing the rocket to take off. It added there were no casualties from the incident, as people in the area had been evacuated. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. Rivers Angels head coach White Gwoza is looking forward to clinching a continental ticket next season after the Port Harcourt-based team won the President Federation Cup for a record 8th time. Coach Gwoza is hoping to keep key players who achieved their Federation Cup triumph to achieve the goal. Jan Vertonghen's late own goal took France into the quarterfinals of the Euro 2024 earlier today as they urged Belgium 1-0 in a tense tie in Düsseldorf. France had dominated the last 16 clash, but their profligate finishing looked set to force extra time until they finally found a way through with 5 minutes left. The lucky break sent the 2022 World Cup runners-up into a late 8th tie in Hamburg on Friday, as they remain on course to become European champions for the 3rd time. Bernardo Silva scored the winning sport kick as Portugal beat Slovenia 3-0 in a Euro 2024 last 16 penalty shootout after a tense tie finished goalless few minutes ago. Cristiano Ronaldo missed a penalty in the first period of extra time and was seen to visibly weep as his teammate consoled him before Benjamin Sesko missed a great chance to stun Portugal with only the goalkeeper to beat. Diogo Costa saved Slovenia's first 3 penalties in the shootout, with Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes and Silva converting all Portugal's efforts. And Carlos Alcaraz made a stumbling start to his Wimbledon title defense earlier today before coming through in straight sets against Estonia qualifier Mark Lajert. The Spanish 3rd seed was taken to a tiebreak in the opening set and thrilled to love against his unerraded opponent in the second, but held his nerve to win 7-6, 7-5, 6-2. Alcaraz, still only 21, is chasing his 4th Grand Slam title and hopes to become just the 6th man after Rod Laver, Bjorn Borg, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic to win the French Open and Wimbledon back-to-back.
For a moment, it looked like the Spaniard might steal it.
That's sports. It's back to you, Anne.
Thank you, Chris. And the main news again. The Nigeria Customs Service today intercepted 9 containers conveying arms, ammunition, illicit drugs, and second-hand clothes worth 13.9 billion naira. We also told you that the Vice President Kashim Shettima visited victims of Gwoza multiple bombings and put the death toll at 32. Nigeria's #2 citizen says 14 people have been discharged, with 26 still receiving treatment. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Have a wonderful night rest.
Hello and welcome. This is entertainment.